everyone, and welcome to Those Freaking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture fandoms, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Christine.
And today we are chatting monster romance, specifically focusing on Frankenstein-based romances in lieu of the new Guillermo del Toro movie out now on Netflix.
Yes. Okay. Exactly. So we're going to be talking Frankenstein-inspired movies, Frankenstein-inspired romance, like breaking that down, digging into it. And we're going to be talking about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. If you don't know, comes out today on Netflix, November 7th, starring Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Jacob Elordi. We have interviews coming up later in the episode with the film's special effects makeup artist, with the costume designer, and the composer, who, if you don't know, is Alexander Desplat, and we are big fans.
Big fans.
Big fans of his work.
He did.
If you don't know, he did a New Moon.
Yes, and other things, obviously.
Amongst so many other things. But of course, as a Twilight-based started fandom girlies. So, of course, we're going to let you know when we go into any sort of spoilers. So you don't need to worry about that. If you're really excited about this movie and you don't want to be spoiled, we're going to tell you when you will be. But if you do want to watch the movie and come back and listen to the rest of that portion of the episode, I think that'll really enrich the discussion for you. Mm-hmm. We will save our spoilery thoughts, though, for the end. So we'll have our interview, we'll have our Frankenstein's discussions, we'll have, of course, before all of that, our other segments. So there's a lot to listen to before you have to dip out if you don't want spoils. Yeah. If you don't want spoilers, we'll tell you.
We put out a production every week. Okay, but we were actually invited to the Netflix Frankenstein press junket a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't think Christine and I have actually officially ever done a press junket together. We've always done them like kind of separately. So this was like super fun. So we'll be telling like our story and experience alongside the interview portion. And like Christine said, we're going to be talking about the total package, Monster Boyfriend, what that would look like.
Yes. All right. So we're going to move into our Snap Crackle Pop Culture News segment. And if you want to skip to Frankenstein, there is a timestamp in the show notes. So just jump over there if you don't want to hear all the fun pop culture news we've got lined up in our docket here. Mm-hmm. Natasha, what is first on the news today?
What did I write down here? Okay. There's a few things we have written down. Okay, this dropped a while ago, but Red, White, and Royal Blue is getting a sequel.
Yeah? What? Wait, that's for real? I thought that was a rumor.
No, okay, it was, and then it was confirmed like 2 weeks ago, and it's been greenlit. Nicholas Galitzine and Taylor Zakar is returning.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Now, they didn't say the title, but Taylor posted, and there was like a graphic that said Red, White, and Royal Blue Wedding. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the title.
My God. Wait, we're doing a royal wedding. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's a royal wedding.
That's so exciting. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I'm so excited to see the sequel to their love story. I've read that book so many times.
I watched that movie so many times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's coming. They don't have a date yet, and everything about the synopsis is being kept under wraps. Aside from that wedding portion,
I can tell you just based off of what you just said, it's probably going to be centered around the royal wedding. Maybe they get engaged, and there's a lot of controversy around a gay wedding because the palace is such a tight ass traditional asshole.
Yeah, they're stuck in
all of that stuff.
Victorian age,
in ancient times, and they hate everything good and fun and new. No offense to the royal family.
Okay, what do you have?
All right. Well, I got a really big announcement. If you missed it last week, I am going on a book tour for 30, Flirty, and Forever Alone in January 2026. We are so close to release. I cannot believe it's 2 months out, like less than 2 months out now. What? And I am going to be going to Collingswood, New Jersey, which is South Jersey, right near Philly. We're going to have, the event will be on January 7th at the Kiss and Tale Romance Bookshop in conversation with Hannah Nicole Mayer. So excited. There is a link for tickets in the show notes. I think the ticket is just buying a book, and it is at 6 p.m. Then on January 9th, I am going to be in Memphis, Tennessee, which is like very exciting because I've never been to Tennessee before, or Memphis, obviously. And I'm going to be at Novel Memphis at 6 p.m. in conversation with Kelsey and Peachagay. She's been on the show, friend of the pod. We did that really fun episode where we pretended that we were in ACOTAR and basically we were in Tamlin's position.
And we decided what creatures we were going to be.
Yes. And I was going to be an ostrich, and Natasha was going to be like a giant kangaroo.
What was Kelsey?
An otter?
An otter, yeah.
But like a monster otter. And that was so fun. So we are going to be in conversation, Kelsey and I, at Novel Memphis at 6 p.m. There is a link to RSVP to that in the show notes. And then on January 11th, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas. Also super exciting. I've never been to Austin. I've wanted to go for so long. I'm going to be at Larkin Owl Booksellers at 7 p.m. And there's a link to tickets to that in the show notes. And then finally, wrapping up in my hometown, La La Land, at the Ripped Bodice on January 14th. It's in Culver City, California. It's at 7 p.m. And I'm in conversation with Olivia Blake / Alexine Farrell Fullmouth. Oh, I'm sorry that I always say your name wrong, Alex, if you're listening. Not enough people say that name out loud, and so I don't know how to say it correctly. Everyone says Olivia Blake. Anyway, Olivia Blake is her pen name that she uses for her adult novels. So she's written like the Atlas Six trilogy and Gifted and Talented Girl Dinner. So many books. Like she has so many titles that are all amazing bestsellers. So I'm super, super excited to be in conversation with her. And those tickets are also in the show notes. Please come out. I want to meet y'all. It's going to be a really fun time. And I'm just super pumped. So that is my big news. There might be one more event. We're working on it. Mm-hmm. But right now, that is what we've got. And the links are in the show notes.
Okay, I hope we're going to see you guys at Christine's tour stops. I will definitely be there in LA, but again, it might be one more coming. So,
yes, we will see.
We're 3 years old.
Oh my God! Yeah, we had our birthday, our podcast birthday. That's
anniversary.
Crazy. Oh my God, our podiversary. So that's so wild. We started in 2022 at the end of October. And I mean, how do you feel? We're 3.
It's just crazy.
It's gone so fast, right?
Well, we have 140. This is our 141st episode. That's wild in and of itself. Like, I can't believe the 100th episode with Kat was over 40 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, we gotta start thinking about 200.
I know. And gosh, like if you imagine this back in when we were like at the beginning of our YouTube careers, that means if we had started in like 2014, we would like we would be like in 2017 if we had.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of time.
That seems like a lot of growth time.
Yeah. But yeah, podcast obviously has been such a different experience than YouTube. But it's just been so fun that this is like, I talked about this before, but like I love doing like a team project with my best friend.
Yeah.
Like and then we get to do business stuff together.
Yes.
And we're finally kind of moving into that era. Like, this junket was a big thing.
It was a huge thing for us.
We did the junket as those forking fangirls, and we're really excited to hopefully do more like book to movie adaptation coverage on the podcast, because that's literally what we do. We cover all that stuff.
It's like the first portion of our podcast every single week is us just talking about
is covering book to movie stuff and movies
Taylor Swift
and all our nerdy, exciting things, plus Taylor Swift. Yeah. So really hoping to keep doing all of that and growing in that direction with all of y'all. We couldn't be here without all of y'all's support. Thank you so much for all of y'all for listening with us these 3 years. Whether you're new or you've been here from the very beginning, you are appreciated. If you're a patron, like, we couldn't do this without you. We love you so much. And if you want to be a patron, we'd love for you to join that community. It just helps us do the show better and more consistently and just grow in new directions there, because the show is supported by viewers like you. We don't have sponsors here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe like we have consistently done this for so long, like every week. Like we only miss maybe 4 weeks out of the year. So 5 maybe. So
maybe 5. But like that's pretty fucking good.
I know. Go us. Go team.
Woohoo! Yeah, and I'm glad we took a moment to appreciate it, because we forgot last week.
I know.
All right.
You have more stuff on me for news. What's going on with American Horror Story? I saw this.
Oh my God. So American Horror Story season 13 has been casted, right? Ariana Grande is starring in it. Plus all of the OGs: Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, Emma Roberts, Billy Lord, everyone from Coven, my favorite season 3. So it's seemingly a continuation of Coven. So I am so fucking pumped. And Jessica Lange is back to star.
Oh my gosh.
And she said that she would never come back. She's back. It's season 13, which is 10 seasons after the original Coven season. So it feels like it connects. And 13, of course, is the number 13. I just really hope it's witches. I hope it's Coven, because I will watch it, man. I've been out of that world for so long because I'm such a scaredy cat, but like I could handle Coven because I fucking love witches. And if you haven't watched any seasons of American Horror Story and you want to watch 3
is the
season
best.
3. I've watched it twice, and that's a lot for a horror thing.
Who's the guy that does American Horror Story? What's his name?
Ryan Murphy.
Okay, Ryan Murphy also made this new show called All Is Fair, and it's starring Kim Kardashian.
Oh, I heard about that.
Okay, and it's also starring Glenn Close.
Okay.
Wait, who else is in it? I think Tayana. Hold on, I'm sorry. This just like I want to watch it because I have been watching all the TikToks of the whole cast together. Oh, Sarah Paulson's in it. Niecy Nash, Tayana Taylor, Naomi Watts. Like you've got some powerhouses.
Yeah, big names. Yeah.
Alongside Kim Kardashian and
What is the joke behind saying her name that way?
I can't believe you don't know this. Okay.
I don't know anything about Kim Kardashian really, except that she makes skins.
The makeup guru on TikTok, on Beauty Talk. Her name is
Kim Kardashian.
Her name is Michaela Naguro, something like that. And she has this very thick New Jersey accent.
You're not doing a New Jersey accent.
I don't know.
You're doing like the lady from
it's Boston.
From Monsters Inc.
Is it Boston? Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I would say that's more Boston, but like it's an old woman who smoked 50 packs a day.
Well, you should hear her say it, and she's literally 5 years younger than me, so I don't know.
What?
Yes. And she said it like that. It's Boston. Thank you, Caitlin. Supposedly fake, but who knows? Okay. Anyways, so she gets sent like product and she goes Kim Kardashian, and then people just memed it to
Okay.
And so, anyways, now I can't stop saying Kim Kardashian's name like that.
Okay. Well, Kim Kardashian's going to star in a Ryan Murphy thing.
Yes,
Wild.
she's already been in with Emma Roberts. Anyways, I'm excited.
Okay.
I kind of want to watch it just to see like if it's good.
Yeah, I mean, like typically, especially the first season of his shows are really good.
Yeah.
I have some Tay and Taylor Swift today.
Oh yes.
So I wanted to talk about. We got a little bit more info on the Eras Tour docu-series we're getting, and the final show is called the Eras Tour. The final show is directed by 14-time Emmy winner Glenn Weiss, who and it's produced by Taylor Swift Productions in association with Silent House Productions. Glenn Weiss did a lot of like TV directing, like of award shows and stuff. I looked him up. And then The End of an Era, and I think that's the other episodes that aren't the final show, is directed by Don Arga and co-directed by Sheena M. Joyce and produced by Object and Animal. And these are the people that made the 2023 Kelsey documentary.
Oh.
Yeah. So I feel like they just came highly recommended probably from Travis. And she was like, okay, get him in here. So that was really interesting. And in other news, I know we both read Housemaid in anticipation for the Paul Feig movie coming with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seinfeld. Wait, Seyfried. What did I say? Okay. Anyway, did you see that they dropped like a whole clip from when the husband first meets Sydney Sweeney and she's like dusting? It's a little different from the book. Okay. But yeah, it was cool. Like, I want to see this movie so bad now because I just read the book.
It's kind of left my mind, and like that we read it, but I'm like, oh wait, that's coming out. When is it coming out? December?
It's coming out, I feel like either end of December or early January. I think it's December. I think it's around Christmas, right?
December 19th.
Okay, yes. So December 19th, we'll get the movie. I'm dying to see it. It's all fresh in my head. I couldn't forget it. I got too much anxiety. It's like when you remember trauma and you forget happy things. I remember this book in much detail. So I'm excited to see how they adapt that. What else do you have in here, Natasha?
Okay, so Twilight came back to theaters for one day.
Oh shit, yes.
I know. No, we didn't get to see it.
We did not.
But they had all
We went enough times.
We did. They had all 5 movies back, one per day, I think. And Twilight on its day back in theaters made $1.5 million.
Amazing.
For a re-release.
We love doing that. We love it.
That's a lot of butts and seats for a day for a movie that's been out for 20 years. Not 20 years. Holy fuck. No, like.
Not 20 years. 2008. What year is it?
15?
2025. 13 years.
13?
13 years.
Okay. Re-releases are doing really well this year. Yeah, I did look this up. Right? The Return of the Sith was out for 2 weeks.
Wait, maybe it is 15. Why can't I count 2018 to 2020?
Minus 2025.
17.
No.
Oh my God, is it 17?
Wait, yeah, it is 17.
It's 17.
Yeah, because Abby and I were just talking last night, and we were like, oh, we've been best friends for 20 years. So...
yeah, that's fucking crazy. Okay.
Anyways, I was saying, The Return of the Sith made a whole lot of money on its release, but it was out for 2 weeks. It made like $26 million back. And Pride and Prejudice was out for a week, and it made like 7.
Do you remember like the midnight releases? Just the midnight shows used to pull in millions of dollars. We broke so many records for those during the Twilight era. That's really exciting. Okay, in other news, did you know that there was a sequel to Meet the Parents being filmed called Focker-in-Law, and Ariana Grande is starring in it with Rob De Niro, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson?
What?
Like, what? Wild. Also, Ariana's got brown hair again.
Oh, wait, I missed these photos. Damn. Okay, well, I guess we'll see her a lot.
Yeah, we will.
It's Wicked month.
It's wild. Wicked's coming. We're going to have 2 Wicked episodes if we manage to film both of them before Wicked comes out.
Okay. I wrote this down, but I feel like this is something that you should talk about.
Which one?
The Kate McKinnon being cast as Aphrodite and Percy Jackson.
I didn't see that. Kate McKinnon has been cast as Aphrodite and Percy Jackson? Season 3?
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Are we sure? I thought I saw someone else cast as Aphrodite. That's why I'm so confused.
No.
Are we sure this is real?
This is real. It was posted by Variety and Percy together. Collab post.
Oh my God, this is wild to me. I could have swore I saw someone completely different. I thought I saw like a beautiful black woman cast as Aphrodite like a few weeks ago.
No.
That I didn't know. Okay. Very exciting. Maybe she was cast as a different character and I'm misremembering.
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. Okay. That's exciting. I mean, season 2 hasn't even come out yet. So I guess it's coming out in December. Because that's when they dropped the first season, because I watched it with Paul. So that's exciting. We'll see. But also, I don't think we ever talked about the fact, I had this in my notes, and I don't think we ever talked about how volume 6 of Heartstopper, the movie, is coming July 2nd, 2026. Did we talk about that? We have a date.
We had a date.
Yeah. I mean, there's a date now, July 2nd. And I'm so excited. Gosh, by that time, it's going to be so late in time. Also,
summer.
Regretting You hit #1 at the domestic box office this week. Fuck yeah.
Go Anna and Colleen.
Yeah. Yes, bitch. And this is Mason's. He's like breaking a record. This is his 3rd #1 domestic box office hit this year.
Shit.
Yeah.
Go
Is
him.
How to Train Your Dragon, Black Phone 2, and now Regretting You. Like, he's on fire this year. Like, this is going to be one of those years for him that like he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Riding high.
All that success.
Guys, Mackenzie Foy did a Twilight shoot at the Twilight House.
Crazy!
For Teen
at the
Vogue.
Bella's house.
Bella's
Yeah.
house.
In the one we visited up in Portland, outside of Portland.
Yes. And the photos were iconic. They made me emotional. Like I was watching, and they had music behind it. Like, and I was just like, oh my God. She's all grown up.
Oh my God. Also, there was the pictures she posted from the shoot. There's one where there's like a stuffed wolf next to her, and Taylor Lautner commented, like, I wonder what I was howling about there.
It's epic.
Oh my God. I love that he just leans in. Like, that's my favorite. People leaning into their like fucking nonsense from the fiction world.
I mean, he's got that weird show that's in the works about him being...
I'm so excited. Taylor Lautner, Werewolf Hunter. Fuck yeah. Like, I hope we get to cover that. Please, Amazon. Choose us. Oh my God. Like, I literally think we should do like a spin-off podcast in the feed covering every episode of that.
Yes. I agree.
For sure. For sure.
First reactions, all of it.
Okay. And we've got one last super exciting announcement. I don't know if you've heard yet, but we are going to Love LitCon in San Diego in February. It is a book conference extravaganza, romance book extravaganza. There's tons of amazing authors coming, including Christina Lauren and so many other people that now I don't have them written in front of me, but like lots of big names, and they're just the ones that we know the best. But like lots of people are going to be there. Go look it up. And we're going to be there, and we're going to be I'm going to be there as an author. Natasha and I are going to be there as those working fangirls doing a live podcast. Mm-hmm. It's going to be so much fun. So please look up the con. You can get your tickets now. We hope to see you there. It's going to be a fun time. And this one, we can drive to it. So we are very relieved there's no flights involved.
Yes. It's in February. Do we have
yes, it's February. I want to say
February 13th to the 15th. 3 days.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, it's literally through Valentine's Day?
Oh, yes, it is. Wait, is it?
Oh, fuck. Come spend Valentine's Day with us.
There's some movie coming out. Is it Is it Verity coming out on Valentine's Day?
No, I think that one's coming out in October. Is it the
Withering Heights?
Reminders of Him?
Fuck.
Oh, fuck. We'll figure it out.
If we find that if Wuthering Heights comes out that day, if we're involved, then
we'll go at
before.
night.
There should be a whole screening. We should
we should be
together.
invited to a Wuthering Heights screening, please. Oh yeah. You mean a screening at the con?
Yeah.
That would be really fun. I was like, I hope we get invited to an early screening though.
Get it again. Get it again.
Fall in love again and again. Fall in love. I'm just so excited to see that movie. I know it's gonna be so weird and fucked up, and also have the best soundtrack ever.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all our news.
Yes.
Let's move in to what right now? What have you read this week?
I'm still reading One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
Still reading? Like, when did you start reading? What is One Dark Window
I
by
talked
Rachel
about it
Gillig?
last week. It's the magic system that's like
Oh,
very simple. It said
I forgot what it was called.
readers of Uprooted.
Yes, it's back.
With the
I've listened to the
cards.
podcast 3 times now. From last week. Yes.
With the cards.
Yes.
Yeah, I really haven't
Yes.
had much time to read, honestly, this week. It's the Halloween week was kind of took me
Crazy. Mm-hmm. I've read nothing this week.
out. All right.
0. Mm-hmm. I read, I think, a page of Mate in the shower before I was like, I'm tired.
Okay, what have you been watching?
Okay, well, of course, we've been watching Dancing with the Stars and enjoying it so much. It's been so good.
The
A Halloween episode. Dylan Efron did a romantasy themed dance with Daniela Karagach. That was amazing. Twilight rep. Romantasy rep.
I loved Alex's dance. I think that was my favorite.
Alex's dance last week.
In the dirt.
Oh, yeah. Had like a Lady Gaga inspired opening in the sandbox, but dirt box with Val. That was great. I also really loved Mark and Whitney's like zombie dance that opened it up. And I think it was underrated because they opened up the show.
And Robert's dance, the Paso.
Oh, it was so good. And Andy's dance as a priest, I was so proud of him with like the billowing fog. It was actually like gave me the chills.
I actually really liked who's the one from the child star? What's her name?
Oh, Topanga.
Yeah.
Danielle.
I really like.
Is that her name? Is it Danielle? No, it's not.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Maybe it's Danielle.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Anyways,
now.
I liked her dance. Because
Yes,
I
me
was
too.
like, oh wait, oh my god, wait, oh he's obsessed with her. Oh wait, he's gonna kill her. Danielle Fisher. Thank you, Nicole.
Danielle Fisher. It was Danielle. I liked it. I think it could have been choreographed better. Which it was like a really great concept that I think wasn't executed as great as it could be, and that's not on her.
Yes. And then Christine and I have both been watching Love Is Blind.
All right.
Slowly.
Love is Blind this season is the melodrama is wild. Like there's literally a woman who was like straight up 50 million red flags. Like her name is Annie and she was like, I'm obsessed with my person. I want to be with them at all times, everywhere. I want to be touching them all the time. And the guy she was talking to at the time was like, yeah, I mean, I'm obsessed too, but I don't think on the same level that you are. And she is wild the way that have you gotten past like the honeymoon stage, the vacation stage?
A little bit, yes.
Because she's just always like, I feel like you don't love me as much as I love you. And he's like, I love you. And she's like, well, I feel like it's not as much as I love you. And she'll argue about it. And they just say the saying. She's like, I love you. And she just keeps saying it. And I'm like, girl,
Stop it.
please stop. You're making me really uncomfortable. Anyway, so there's that. And also she was like, said some things that made me like, she said some really homophobic things, as did he. In the pods that I like can't believe were uttered in this year 2025. I'm like,
Hope says this season of Love is Blind was so dumb.
It's just I'm toward the end. Like I just need to finish now. I'm on episode 10.
I just can't. I keep watching it and I get distracted. Like I just pick up my phone.
I also like can't stand Joe because it's like from 100 miles away, you can see that this man is not going to go through with this, and he's going to hurt Madison. And Madison's so sweet and just trying so hard to make it work. And Joe from the very beginning, he's like, "Oh, I don't know. She's a stranger."
To curvier women.
Oh my God! Yeah, I typically date smaller women, and I'm just like, dude. And then the way he treats her, I want to fucking. Yeah. It's just one red flag after another with the way he treats her, and she just keeps trying to make it work. And I'm like, Madison, you deserve better, girl.
Yes.
I can't with this man.
Okay,
yeah.
Movies.
Didn't watch anything. I've literally just, only Love is Blind.
Okay, so last night I was doing my best friend's hair until 11 p.m. at night. And so I came home, my cousin's home, staying with us for the night. And Alex and her are watching this movie called House of Dynamite. It's directed by Catherine Bigelow. It's on Netflix. And it's a what would our country do if a nuclear missile was actually launched at us? And so it like shows multiple points of views. I missed the first 45 minutes of this movie, by the way. Alex and Miley caught me up, but it just shows the different 20 minutes of time as they figure out that this nuke was launched, of all these different people who are involved and how we would combat that. And it's fucking scary.
That sounds horrifying,
it was, honestly. And the end of the movie, we don't get to see any of it. We don't get to see like if it actually struck, any of it. So it's like,
I don't like that.
But it like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
Even though I missed the first 45 minutes.
If anyone doesn't know, Catherine Bigelow, lore, she won the Oscar for Best Director for The Hurt Locker, and she was the first female winner. And she is James Cameron's ex-wife. And to this day, I think she's the only woman I've ever seen win Best Director at the Oscars.
Yes, she has been.
The woman who did The Substance did not win.
No.
Even though that movie was bomb.com directed. So I think she also did Zero Dark 30. She does like really intense movies.
War films.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think I'll be watching that because I am intrigued though. But like it sounds scary and I think I'll get a lot of anxiety.
It's not as scary as that.
Not sorry, I didn't mean like scary like boo. I mean scary like
as like
I don't want to think about that. Yeah. Can I just tell you there was a story on Armchair Expert Anonymous today, and it was babysitting was the theme story. And there was this young girl who called in. She's only 21, and this happened in 2023. And she was 19, and she's babysitting for this family with 4 kids. And she's babysat for them a lot, and the parents like went to like some party or event, and she was just sitting in the kitchen, and there's a sliding glass door, and a man just slid open the door and poked his head in. And she was like kind of frozen because she's like, okay, this is not she thought this footsteps might be the parents coming back early, but they don't come in the back door. And he just came into the house when she made eye contact and grabbed her arm and started dragging her around. And like, someone's chasing me, and like flipping off the lights, and like, I need to hide.
What?
And yeah, and it's around Christmas time that this happened.
He was saying that?
Yes, he was saying that to her. And she's like panicked. She's like, okay, I can't have him go upstairs. Like the kids are asleep, and like, I don't want him to know that they're even here. And she grabbed her phone and started and dialed 911 while he was like yanking her around, and no one picked up. It went to voicemail, and then he noticed and chucked the phone away.
Oh my
God. Yeah. And he ended up like wrestling with her, and they fell into the Christmas fucking tree, and she like got him in the balls, and then like got her phone, called 911 again because they had tried calling her back during this tussle, and it went to voicemail again.
What the fuck?
This is the scariest story I've ever heard. Because you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember that show Unbelievable with the serial rapist that slid open sliding glass doors, and that's how he got into people's houses?
Yes.
Yeah. So after she kicked him in the balls and she's calling 911, she finally gets a hold of them, and they're sending people, and the guy is like, come in the basement with me. I'm someone's coming after me. And she's like, no. And the police on the phone are like, go outside on the porch and see here if you hear sirens. And she did. And she came back and he was gone, but she got a picture of him on her phone before he left.
Wow, she's smart.
But he had a fucking list of crimes up the ass, and she had to come identify him a few weeks later when they found him, and he had assault charges. He had locked a woman in the bathroom with him. So this is something that he does, come into houses and try to get people in spaces with him. He was trying to get her in the basement with her. Yeah, and he got off.
Wonderful. That was a terrifying story.
Horrifying. I know. Sorry, it just reminded me of that.
God,
I don't remember.
I'm fucking scared.
I've always been scared since I saw that show, and it just reinforced that this is real. And be careful with your doors.
Thanks. Okay. This was a hell of a tangent.
I know. It was horrifying, you guys. I'm listening to this on the edge of my seat this morning, oh my God, but she's okay. She's here telling the story. Oh my God. Anyway, thank you for listening to our show. We're going to move on to the main discussion now. And again, we're going to let you know when spoilers are coming. So you don't have to worry yet about not having seen Frankenstein if you haven't. And just so you know, it's out on Netflix now, November 7th. But thank you so much for being a part of our community here. We have a Patreon, which I already talked about, lots of fun perks, and we so appreciate you supporting us in that way, because that is what makes it possible for us to do this show every week. And we would love to keep growing that platform, and we have a lot of fun perks over there. At our first tier, Team Jacob, you get the show ad free. You get the show you get to come to recording, so you can be a part of the discussion in the chat, and then you get Fangirl Tea Time, our flagship benefit here, which is an extra half an hour show where we do story time. We go deeper into different topics that are maybe a little bit more personal. It's really fun, and it's literally attached to every single episode once you become a patron. So you get so much extra. If you are subscribing at the first tier, you get episode 120 on all of those Fangirl Tea Times, and we're at 141 now, so that's actually a good chunk of Fangirl Tea Times.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you subscribe at our top level, Team Pulse Bananas, you get the whole archive of Fangirl Tea Times, and in each show notes there is a timestamp, so if you've already listened to that main show, you can just jump to Fangirl Tea Time, so you get a lot of backlog to listen to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that we love y'all, and if you haven't already, we'd love it if you just followed the show for free in your favorite podcasting app. It's really easy. You just click the follow button, and then you're notified whenever there's a new episode. If you like watching the visual version of the show, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/@those4kingfangirls, and there is visual versions of the show every single week. Subscribe for free, and you'll never miss a visual episode.
Yes. And rate us on Spotify. We're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. We're coming up close. 2 months left. We've
actually got 1 month and 1 week to hit the 1,000 mark. If we were going to fit the big pieing each other into our Christmas episode.
Yeah. We need 150 more rates. So
yes, 150 more, and we will be pieing each other in celebration of 1,000 ratings on Spotify on our Christmas special. So help us hit it. Go to Spotify if you enjoy the show and rate us 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think I cut you off about saying how this is probably the best episode to watch on YouTube because we are doing interviews. Right?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say it's a good episode to watch on YouTube because we will have interviews with the special effects guy from Frankenstein and the costume designer and the composer. And you'll get to see the nice set that they have set up at the junket for Frankenstein. with these amazing, talented people who worked on the film. All right. We're going to move on to our main discussion. If you're a patron, we're rolling right on in. If not, we will see you right after these messages. Woo! And we're back. And we're talking monster romance. We're talking Frankenstein. And before we even really delve into the discussion, I think it would be cool to kind of pull on other Frankenstein-inspired movies that just get our brains thinking in the direction of adaptations, because it doesn't have to be a direct Frankenstein adaptation to be inspired by the Frankenstein story. And the more I thought about this, like, I made a list myself, and then I went to the internet to make sure I wasn't missing anything big. And I just couldn't
trying to find things, and it was kind of hard.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking myself, I kept thinking of Poor Things. I think Poor Things is a very like almost one-for-one adaptation of the idea of Frankenstein, but it's a really interesting take on it in that it's a woman, and it's a very feminist film, but it's written and made by a man, and that aspect is really fascinating about it. And thinking about Frankenstein itself through that lens was really fascinating, because after seeing Poor Things, it really got me thinking about just all the metaphors and the different things it's saying about how we treat women in society in general. And so I was really looking at the regular Frankenstein movie through the lens of that thinking.
Of Poor Things.
Yeah, of Poor Things.
I wish I kind of have read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, because I have heard so much. Obviously, this is a lot of people's favorite books. I had no idea that this is it's like Becca's favorite book. This is my friend Megan's favorite book. Like, I hadn't heard people talk about Frankenstein in this way, but how it is a female author who wrote about, there's not a lot of females in the book, but how man's obsession with creating life because they can't do it like women can, which is never even thought about it that way.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting when you think about that. And it's really interesting, like, just in general, the idea of man creating Frankenstein, and then he treats him like shit, like he's his possession, right? He created a man, but...
A creature, yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as the creature starts to show that they have intelligence, he's
and
like,
will.
They must be destroyed. They're dangerous. Yeah, and their own will. And, like, that is really... in society, how men love to treat women, like when they're pretty and they're theirs, like they love them. And then as soon as they assert their own power and want to join as equals, they're like threatened. And the women become a threat that they talk like they're evil negatively about. And it's really like, it was depressing thinking about it while I was watching this movie.
Yeah, because
if they can't be your possession, then you don't like them anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like how much work they go
them.
Well, like how much work that they go through, that Victor Frankenstein goes through to create this creature, and the death that he creates, and the mess that he creates just to create life. And then once he has life, he's like, maybe not.
Yeah, he has so much blood on his hands. Okay, this is Siobhan just said a little Mary Shelley lore too, is that her mother died giving birth to her, which in the Frankenstein film, this film, I don't think this is a spoiler, but like, I mean, Guillermo is an artist and he uses like color in ways, in this movie specifically, he uses the color red to show anyone that's like marked for death by Frankenstein himself. And like the mother is always dressed in red because like he has her blood on his hands almost, you know? And then for the rest of the movie, like anyone who's going to die ends up with like red mark on them.
Nicole said Mary Shelley also had a miscarriage not long before writing the book, which really impacted her writing and her reflection on creation of life. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about, so a couple other like Frankenstein inspired things. Of course, we have Lisa Frankenstein, which kind of is like a silly take on it, but dark. But what was more interesting to think about was Companion, and how the men in that film are really like programming women to be their perfect woman, you know, and it's basically like their creation, and then the creation turns on them when they treat them like shit. Like they just expect to be able to treat anyone like shit, and still they want to be with them, you know? Like this God complex where they think they're above other life.
Yeah.
That they can treat them like possessions forever, even though they wanted them to be alive
And have feelings and
yes,
live.
and treat them like they are human.
I was like looking at your list and I was like, oh yeah, this is like all about recreating life or making life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw Captain America Winter Soldier on here and I was like, wait, are you talking about Winter Soldier?
So I was talking about Bucky.
Yeah.
Like, and just the idea though of making these perfect soldiers, like using these experiments and stuff, and then having them, you know, go off and maybe work against you in the end because you can't control them. Like that idea of, again, like creating this superior life that can't die. And one of my favorite seasons of television of all time, maybe my favorite singular season of television of all time, is this trope. And it's so good. If you haven't watched Westworld from HBO's Westworld by Jonathan Nolan and his wife, I think her name is Wendy, it's literally phenomenal. Just watch the first season. It's self-contained. But like basically men create this fucking theme park that they can play around and fuck about in. And like they pay a lot of money to do it. And all these robots that have been created are so high tech that they are like becoming sentient. And you're seeing from their point of view, and you're seeing from like the human's point of view. And it is wild how they collide and how it all collapses in on itself. And if you don't know, that's based on the book by Michael Crichton, who also fucking wrote Jurassic Park, which is also about men having a fucking god complex and their creatures destroying them.
Mic drop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Metal said there's also so much commentary about the way parents think about children as possessions or creations other than instead of individuals, which is so real and such a frustrating thing that happens all the time when parents are, you know, not therapized enough.
This is mine. I feel like if I think I watched something I saw a creator talk about how she's like, I don't want to be a mom, but I like want to be an auntie. And I was reading the comments and people were like, this is what I was meant to do. Like, I don't understand this point of view. Like all women should be able to create life. I love having my little family. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe you shouldn't be a mom. Like if you're thinking
being
it.
she has her little humans to do things for her,
or just to have
as like a collection.
Yeah. Or like her life didn't make sense until she gave birth.
Because I feel like there's ways that can be like she found her purpose, but then there's ways that she could be like she has people. Like there's like the idea that like they're hers. And like
there's healthy and unhealthy.
Yes, there's healthy and unhealthy versions of this. Yes. That's basically what I'm trying to get at here. But yeah, no, there's these moments where like you see parents really like pushing for their children to do something, like even like Hollywood moms. What are they called? Like what is
Stage
that called?
moms?
Stage moms. Like where they're living vicariously. Well, maybe the kid's not really into it, but like they wanted to do this, and this is their chance just through their kid. And that's a really good example, I feel like, of them being their possession. And like when the kid makes money, it's theirs, you know, because it's their kid. Yeah, momagers, Pauline said, mom managers.
The entitlement to their lives.
Exactly. The
Because
entitlement for sure.
They're the ones who birthed them, created them, house them, clothe them.
Yeah. And then we have like the whole, like you can draw such a huge line from like Frankenstein to AI, honestly. Like I was thinking about iRobot. Like that is this. Like where we want to create these like robots to do the things that we don't want to do. And we want them to almost be sentient, and then they are sentient, and then we're like, oh no, they're going to take over the world. Like, yeah, you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
like we're not supposed to play God in that way. You can't treat a being like less than yourself.
And it's happening. Yeah, Amazon just laid off like 30,000 workers because they had AI take over their jobs.
It's infuriating, honestly, as a person who's been trying to get like shit fixed from a corporate company, and like you can't talk to a person and the AI can't fucking help me. Like, and you just have to go through wall after wall after wall to talk to a person. And like the AI is like, wait, but like, let me help you. And then even when they're like, I'm going to transfer you to an agent, and I'm talking to an agent on like text, it doesn't feel like a person, because when I say things, they're not responding the way that a human would.
Yeah.
I am just infuriated. Like they need people on this, because it's never going to be the same. Like AI is always going to follow the fucking directions.
Well, that's because that's what people created.
That's what they want. And that's really sad, honestly. Like the way that the world's going, it's all like corporate greed and sadness, and I hate it.
You're at Lisa Frankenstein down in here, which is a little bit of a shift, but
yeah, no, I kind of just touched on it really quickly because it's like a sillier version, but it's dark. But like a bigger one, I mean, like Terminator's the AI thing.
Yes.
And Edward Scissorhands is like more of a direct kind of heartfelt adaptation of Frankenstein.
I don't remember how Edward Scissorhands, how does he become real?
Honestly, neither do I.
I don't think I've watched that movie in over 20 years.
I haven't watched it since college, so like 13 years. And I don't remember. I was kind of bored during it, but I just know that it was like that vibe, because that's one of the ones when I searched Frankenstein inspired adaptation came up, and I was like, oh yeah. Don't remember, but yeah. But I think it had that tenderness. It was like a monster, because another theme that's running through is the idea of somebody being a monster because you don't understand them, and they're different from you.
Wow. The themes that you're pulling out, Christine.
Yeah. And of course, Edward Scissorhands has scissors for hands, and he's like got a creepy look, and like everyone looks at him like he's a monster, but in reality, he's a gentle soul, and you have to take a second to let him show you who he is instead of just jumping to snap judgments, and that's like huge in Frankenstein.
Yeah. There was I mean, not a movie, but the book I read by Sally Angelica Frankenstein, who wrote
the hating game.
Yeah.
Sally Thorne,
thank you. It was about Victor Frankenstein's sister and how she wanted to create like the most perfect man for herself, to be like her husband. And that one was a lot of fun, in the sense of like, yes, it was like a fun like romance, but in a sense you got to see the juxtaposition between a woman creating something and a man creating something, and what each were used for.
There's just so much ego in the man creating something, like especially in this film. We'll talk about it more deeply later. But okay, let's keep moving through the doc here. I wanted to talk about like if we're really grounded in this discussion, right? And like there's really like we're on a Bachelor situation, and there's a vampire and a werewolf and a Frankenstein man. Like, which one can you see yourself actually falling for? Like in love, like, because if I think about the idea of actually dating like a werewolf, I'm like, no fucking way, you know, like that's too dangerous. I don't want that. And like a vampire, it's hard because it's like going to depend on their specific vampire powers.
Yes.
But like Frankenstein feels like the most down to earth, like, because he is just a person.
And he just wants love.
And he just wants to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he just has like a different visual because he's made of a lot of different people's parts.
I'm just a little bit worried about the smell.
I gotta assume that he doesn't smell.
Right. Because his
he's
flesh
alive.
would be living, right?
Yeah. Because he's alive. He's not rotting. And like he heals whenever he gets injured.
This version.
Very quickly, at least this version. Yeah. I mean, and if they look like Jacob Elordi looks once he's got like his like mountain man look, I feel like I would date that.
Does he grow a beard in the movie? I can't remember.
He doesn't. He's got long hair though.
Okay, yeah, it was just the long hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jacob Elordi.
Siobhan says I would definitely swipe left on any monster. Left is no, right? But like I'm saying, if you had to pick one of these, like, what would you pick? Frankenstein, Natasha?
Yes, I would pick Frankenstein.
Yeah, because like vampires are literally like living off blood. It feels a little dangerous, murdery. Frankenstein's a protector too. Like he's like, if he loves you, he's gonna protect you.
Well, like the whole point, like he wanted Victor Frankenstein. Like I don't know what version of this, if this is Mary Shelley or not, but like, you know, there's Frankenstein's wife, the wife of Frankenstein.
Yeah, the Bride of Frankenstein.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
Chiffon says I would just choose a werewolf in this case. Werewolves can have a lot of anger issues.
Okay, here we go. If we were to choose between Edward Cullen.
Okay.
Who's another werewolf? Who's like a werewolf that's like
Tyler from the Vampire Diaries.
Tyler from the Vampire Diaries. Or
I feel like
Jacob
he's the
Elordi.
quintessential werewolf.
Or Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein. Who would you choose?
I would choose Jacob Elordi. Wait, did you say Edward Cullen?
I said Edward Cullen.
Ugh, you can't choose Edward Cullen. You have to give someone else. He's our one true love.
Eric Northman.
Okay, that's a better example because that's like he's more of like a monster.
I hope Cohen from me. No one from Allie Hazelwood's books are allowed to be in this.
Okay, so we've got Eric Northman from True Blood. We've got Tyler. What's his last name? Tyler Lockwood from the Vampire Diaries. And we've got Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein. I'm picking Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein. Like, he's a sweetie. And then probably, if we're doing Mary Kiss Cliff, I'm going to kiss Eric Northman.
This is our Mary Kiss Cliff. Okay, I don't know. I feel like if I was going to have a small life, then I would pick Jacob Elordi Frankenstein. But if I was going to have a large life, it would be Eric Northman, just because like Frankenstein the creature out in public, he's not called Frankenstein. The creature out in public is a little bit.
I mean, I feel like though with the girlfriend effect, he would look more human. He just needs somebody to help him dress. Some makeup, or you know, you can go natural, whatever suits him. But he's a handsome man. Okay, so I want to talk about specifically Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was really interesting to me. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of Jacob as Frankenstein, but they're out now. They're on the internet. He's very much like he's like a piece of art. He's not like the classic Frankenstein with those big like terrible sewing marks
And
stitching
like
him
staples.
up. Yeah. And there's a lot of focus on the perfectionism of Dr. Frankenstein putting him together. Like he wanted perfect parts to make this perfect man. And it's like his Michelangelo. So like there's like strips of flesh. Like you can see kind of like stripes of flesh that he was put together with. So he's more aesthetically pleasing than like your typical Frankenstein monster that you see in the wild of pop culture that you imagine in your head. Like, he doesn't have like bolts and shit coming out of him. He looks like a person made of like Tetris pieces.
And like the way that they explained
smooth,
the way that like in the film, how they kind of explained why he kind of had to put all these different parts together was because they weren't killing anyone. They were taking bodies that were already from war that were already gone, and putting them. So he was trying to use all of those right parts together.
Yeah, but he was like very particular, and it was disgusting. And so let's roll right into this. Goes really good into our clip with Mike Hill, the special effects artist for the film. I love this interview. Like, this was enlightening. Yeah, so let's talk about this. So we went to the junket with like these 3 interviews set. This was our last interview, but I think it was the most fun because we were like relaxed and he was super chill.
It was our middle one because we had Alexander Desplat was our last. I already forgot Alexander Desplat was last.
But like, he was super chill, and I think that made us really at ease. You know, he's really casual the way he talked about it and really excited to talk about his work. And I think one of the most interesting little tidbits we learned via this interview was like, he mentions that Jacob Elordi was actually cast last minute, and they had a different actor cast for like 8 months that they were doing prep work for the special effects with.
Yeah. So we were like, who was it?
I was like Googling because we couldn't ask in there because he was like saying the actor. And like right after I Googled it, I was like, oh my God, Andrew Garfield was going to play the creature.
Wild.
That's wild. And like scheduling conflicts happened and he had to drop out last minute. So, but Jacob Elordi is fantastic. He really did a phenomenal job as the creature. And here is Mike Hill talking about doing the special effects with him.
Yep. My question is, we watched the film last night. Stunning, everything. What was the process like turning Jacob Elordi into the creature, the monster?
Well, it was a very long process.
Yeah.
When Jacob is practically naked when he's in the baby form.
Yes.
There was 10 hours of makeup.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because it's all over.
Yeah.
It's over his entire body. And it's 42 separate silicone appliances
on
his body. Yeah. Probably about 12 or so on his head.
Oh, wow.
And then the rest was on his body. I mean, some were small, some were nice sizable pieces.
Yeah.
But the process, consists of the first getting Jacob in at midnight some nights. Our call time was midnight.
Oh, gosh.
And then first of all, we put him in his ball cap. And then we'd put some creams on his skin. And then we just go for it. It's 10 hours. And we eventually decided on the full body. When I originally started selfishly, but not on purpose, I started with his head and kind of worked our way down, so to speak.
Yeah.
But after a few days of doing that, I realized, wait a second, why don't we do his body first and then his head? And then he's not sat in this all the time. Which, of course, Jacob loved. And I felt stupid for not doing that in the first place. But hey, you know what? We're always learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many different rounds did you have to go through? Like, when you're working with the team and with Guillermo, like, what was that process?
How many times did we apply the makeup?
No, like
when you're testing it out?
We didn't have no time to test.
No time.
To test.
Okay.
No, because as you know, we had an actor who was going to play the creature who dropped out.
Okay.
Oh,
And we'd spent 8 months on doing him.
Damn.
And then that left us with 8 weeks to do it for Jacob.
Oh, my God.
Lord.
All right, you did a great job.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, the groundwork was kind of done because I kind of knew the image that we're trying to evoke with this and the style we're trying to portray in this creature.
We wanted to ask you about that too.
Yeah.
Wait, so when you were thinking about like what he's going to look like, where was the line between like scary and empathetic for him as a monster?
Well, I never once went for scares because that was not Guillermo's script.
Yeah.
You know. And I knew that this creature, you see, Victor Frankenstein, he's not trying to make a monster. He's trying to make a man. It's just his first go. It's his first draft. He'd never done one before. So he made a lot of mistakes, a lot of wrong choices.
Yeah.
But he just becoming, as Guillermo very cleverly put it, he's an artist, he's a sculptor. He's not, he's not a practicing surgeon. He's not even thinking of that. And once Guillermo said to me, just little, tidbits like, he's like, Victor's like the David Bowie. He's like a rock star. And I was like, oh, okay, now I can get behind that. What would Bowie do if he was making a creature? And we didn't want it to be ugly per se because it's very easy to craft a creature that's terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that terrifying only lasts for the first time you see him, and then after that, you've got to still look at those ugly scars and those ugly wounds. But we didn't want that. The audience had to look at his eyes.
Yeah.
So every line was designed to make you try and look at Jacob's eyes,
That
which
definitely
having eyes
felt
like
that
Jacob
it
Elordi
worked.
doesn't help. You know what I mean? Yeah. But no, seriously, our process of designing this creature. Excuse me if I'm stepping over all your questions.
No,
The process of designing this creature was to make it look like it was vintage. My point of contention was that when I see these, you can do an amazing prosthetic creature that's modern day looking, but we didn't want that. He had to look like he stepped out the 1800s.
Yeah.
And that's in the style, and that's in the color, and that's in, these aesthetics. I also said that I didn't want him to look like he'd been damaged by an accident and someone had re-sewn him up, which a lot of Frankenstein creatures, if you saw them for the first time and didn't know the history, you might say, oh, this guy's been in a bad accident. But I didn't want that. I wanted him to look like, when you saw him, you said, someone did this to him. This is a design choice.
Yeah,
That's why I
that's
did
all
a
in the
lot of-
story too.
Yeah, that's why I did a lot of, geometric shapes rather than nature, curves in, and to put almost robotic shapes inside of flesh. I thought that was the key there.
Well, it looked really cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very good.
What do you think was like the most, I guess, challenging prosthetic or effect that you had to do for the film?
I want to think the most. I mean, we did a lot of stuff. The one effect which goes unnoticed is Mia's makeup as mother. You know?
Yeah.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about
we were in
that.
the
I'm
hallway.
like, how did they have her play both characters? And like, what was that conversation like? Like having her look different.
No, for months, no one ever asked about the Mia side of things. Always the creature.
Yeah.
Which
bigger deal, yeah.
Of course, yeah. And I particularly almost forgot about it till one of the reporters asked me earlier today, and I was like, oh, God, the mirror, yeah, because she in some ways is a lot more difficult than the creature. Because
Okay.
we know the creature's wearing makeup, no matter
Yeah.
who it is. We know we didn't really dig up a dead man and sew him together.
Yes.
So, but with Mia, you're trying to make a different person, and she couldn't be a complete different person, because me reading the script was when Victor later on falls for Elizabeth, he's seeing his mother in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
So she still had to have a semblance to Mia Goth too in the motherly form. I just gave her a brow that looked more like Oscar's brow. I kind of copied Oscar's frown, Oscar's nose shape, and tried to put it on Mia. And I really like that makeup. It was kind of because on set and Netflix, people were asking me, saying, "Who's that standing? Doesn't she look like?" I mean, it wasn't a standing, so that was good.
It was her.
It was very flattering. Yes.
Yeah.
So when fans are obviously going to cosplay this version of Frankenstein, when they do, what do you think is like the most important aspect of their cosplays that they can do?
Oh, a wonderful question.
Yeah.
I think it's just keep an elegance and not make it too monstrous. It's not got. You see, the creature, certainly in Guillermo's version and in any iteration, really, if you just read the script, is only a monster for the people who want to see a monster.
Yes.
He really isn't. If you take a sculpture now, a beautiful sculpture, I don't know, the Virgin Mary, and you drop it on the floor, when you glue it back together, it's still the Virgin Mary. Her soul essence is still there.
Okay.
It's just got cracks.
I love that.
So then we don't buy it because it's got cracks, but there's actually a lot of beauty and imperfection, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think that's what the creature is beauty and imperfection. The people who see a monster, it's them that's seeing the monster. He's not the monster. He's just scared.
That's exactly what the film is
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
that's
exactly, yeah.
beautiful.
What I was gonna ask, so when he is in his costume, is it just his face and like his hands, or is he still in the full?
No, it's just whatever's visible. His
Well,
face and
okay.
his hands.
All right, that makes it a
That
lot
would be a
easier.
lot.
Jacob would have killed me. Yeah. We put him in the full body makeup. Was counted, I think around 18 times, and then
Wow.
we did him like 58 in total. So
Okay.
40 of those was, just the head and hands.
Yeah. How long did it take to get off at the end of the day?
A couple of hours.
Okay.
The full body was a couple of hours, but we got a little portable sauna that we put in the
So
trailer.
it just like melts off?
Not so much, but it makes you. Yeah, I wish it melted off. That'd be
We can
amazing.
wait.
But you need to preserve.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No, you don't?
No, they get thrown away. It's a new set every time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new piece every single
Wow.
time. They just get thrown in the garbage.
Okay.
So the heat obviously helps him to sweat from the inside out, so it helps to release that glue.
Okay.
It's also really good for his skin. He's been through hell for 20 hours.
I
you
can
know?
only imagine.
Wow.
How many people are working? Like, what's your team like?
For the full body, there was 5 of us on him,
Wow.
and for the head, it was usually 3.
Is he just standing still?
He does a lot of standing because
Yeah.
it's much easier to put the body on.
Yeah.
We sit at first to get the front of the legs on and the tops of the feet and the hands, and then when we start to move to his chest and his back, we have to have him stood up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can only just say, and it's becoming very repetitive, that Jacob Elordi, I couldn't have done it without him. I mean, there's a line, Richard Donner once said that he had so much trouble finding Superman back in 1976, 75, Christopher Reeve. And when he said, I prayed to God to give me Superman, and he gave me Christopher Reeve. And it felt, and when we finally cast Jacob as the creature, and I met him at my shop, and we had a brief discussion. I tried to wig on him, tried some teeth on him, told him what he's in for, told him he might end up hating me, I might end up hating him, but it's all built on love for the creature.
Yeah.
None of that happened, by the way. We became
Good.
great friends.
Oh, that's so good.
But boy, I've lost my train of thought.
You were
What was his editor?
talking about like how grateful you were for Jacob.
Oh, for Jacob.
Yeah, and like, so for somebody to play, well, I am very for Jacob Elordi. Yeah. Oh, actually, he came in for the teeth and the hair, and just there I've lost my train of thought. But let me just start again. Can I start again?
Yeah.
Is that okay. All right. When Jacob first came in, he just tried on the wig and teeth, and the way he moved and the way he was showing me how his body moved, because originally I was thinking of sculpting this whole sculpted torso of defined musculature and rib cage and yada for this beautiful man. But to be honest with you, Jacob Elordi got a pretty damn good body, in the first place. So once I saw him, it actually lessened the process, because we don't need to change him here. We don't need to change that, because he's so statuesque,
Yes.
So he was already 3/4 away there. So
Yeah.
that was good.
So it made your job a little bit easier.
It makes it a lot easier. And the thing was with Jacob is he really wanted this role, and he wanted it to to make his mark on this role of playing a different type of character what he's used to, and that his passion is what kept this going, because actors are in charge, to me. So if an actor didn't want to sit for that long and didn't want to wear that and didn't want to
figure it out.
but no, Jacob Elordi, he just did the whole routine. He was like I say, he was like Christopher Reeve. He was a godsend, basically. He really was.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
chatting with us.
thank
This was so
you.
cool.
No,
Sorry,
you
I
did
didn't say
great.
too much.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Yeah.
much.
So that was such a fun interview. My favorite part of that interview, I think, was how Mike talked about Jacob and how much Jacob was so locked in to doing this creature character.
Oh my God. And how he did his head last the first couple times.
No, he did his head first the first couple times.
Oh, that's what sorry, I said that backwards. First, and then he couldn't do anything with his face.
So he's like, well, maybe we should start from the bottom up.
So that he has his face free for the longest amount of time possible. Because I can't imagine how difficult it is, eating and stuff with all that makeup. And
Well,
prosthetics.
and how long the makeup chair took. I just Oh my god.
Sitting, and then the fact that afterward he still had an hour process to get it off. He had to go in a sauna so that the glue kind of melts.
Yep.
Jesus.
He was so committed to it. I did just see in an interview that he found out that weekend, one weekend he was filming a movie. They're like, we need you to read the script right away. And he's like, oh, can I have the weekend? He's like, they're like, no, read it now. And it was Frankenstein. And then got on a call with Guillermo, and they're like, oh, you're in, let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah. No. I also when you watch the movie, you'll see that he's so tall in the movie, and he really is giving this man-made
Doll.
Adonis.
Yes.
Yeah. And in real life, I had never seen this man, and Natasha and I were at this junket. We both have to pee, so we go to the restroom, and coming from the other end of the hallway, going to the men's room right next to our door, we both realize it's Jacob Elordi, 2
How
feet
can
away.
we not? He's so fucking tall.
Okay, I do a double take, because I at first I was like, who's that really tall person? And we make eye contact. I'm like, oh, that's Jacob.
Just so casual.
He is so tall. He is 6'5". We looked it up, and it's not an exaggeration. He's
he
not
really
lying
was
about
the
his height.
perfect Adonis for the role. And his face is so pretty.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of a surreal moment, because I was like, oh, He is that tall, and he's right here.
We just had to act really cool. If we were in that setting, I would have been like,
if we weren't in that setting, I just like kept walking. But I smiled.
I locked eyes and I looked down immediately. I did not want to act like I knew him, even though like we were at a thing where we should know him.
Yeah. Well, and also like I feel like the technique has to be like move slowly in these moments because that makes you more casual. Because if you look down immediately, it's like, oh yeah, she recognized.
I have no chill in those situations. Okay, so we just talked about special effects, Mike Hill.
All right. Oh yeah. So let's move on to costumes. Because we got to talk to Kate Hawley, who is the costume designer. Natasha kind of led the discussion because, of course, costumes. Go ahead.
She is the mastermind behind all the costumes in Crimson Peak, if you guys have seen that movie. And she is just amazing at what she does. I love her work because she stays true to the time period, but then makes it... she adds these different elements and different textures that obviously are not from the time period, but have always stayed true to the time period, but keeping it more interesting than what anything back then would have been. Like, my God, like the costumes are a feast for your eyes. Like I just remember the first dress that Mia Goth comes out in, the blue one with the feathers. Taya just recreated the look and she looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, technically the first dress, she plays two characters in this movie. She plays Frankenstein's mother.
Yeah, she plays.
And so we see her in this red dress first.
The red dress was amazing, and then like the veil over her was a weaved silk. Like it just kind of the way that it draped and how the air picked it up was just so beautiful. And they also that's right. Mike also talked about how he had to do the prosthetic on Mia's face for the mother.
Yeah. What was really interesting about this interview for me from Kate was how they lit everything with real candlelight. So it really changed the way she had to look at colors on the fabric because that kind of lighting really affects how you can see the color. Mm-hmm. And so she had to do lots of different versions of the dresses, obviously just for technical reasons while you're filming, but like also because like it looked different in candlelight versus daylight, and they always wanted it to be like very vibrant in the way that they imagined the color to be.
I mean, even when she said like the Tiffany jewels, I was like, holy moly. I don't know.
Like you got really excited about that, and I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
They're just like, they're like vaulted away jewels that like not very many people get to wear. It's just kind of like a privilege in a sense to use them.
Maybe we should roll the clip now so we can talk about it more.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll our interview with Kate Hawley.
I was wondering, because I am actually a seamstress, and I watched the film last night. It was so beautiful, like the feathers, the gowns, all of it. What like fabrics, patterns, like textures were you gravitating towards for the world of Frankenstein for the film?
Lots of torture there, really. The language was sort of developing as we went. So although we had the historical context, the fabrics were inspired by nature, and so were the colours. When you look at the world of beetles and textiles and cells, even blood cells, there's so many colours within colours. Okay. And so that became the language of the movie and how colour could create a mood and tone. There's a beautiful melancholy both in the script and in the novel. Mm-hmm. How do we create a sort of gothic sensibility but using colour, and how do we still make it feel like it's in the dream world that Guillermo's doing. So it was about trying to create mood and tone, movement, using fabrics that sort of echoed every movement, particularly with Mia, and heightened the language, And so we played a lot with Mia's clothes. For example, the malachite dress, that was pattern that we developed in-house in the workroom, and then that became a woven silk that we got made. The blue dress was made up of X-ray patterns, so we literally took X-ray patterns, but it echoes sort of the Victorian language of pattern anyway, but we use that as a sort of distortion through fabric and that to sort of keep the language going, and that image in itself, the feathers, and that was sort of almost that circular image of an angel, and she's seeing through the viewpoint of Victor at that point. But all the colours, especially the greens and the reds, had to echo what my colleagues were doing and what Guillermo was developing with the production design, with the creature and all of that, and they became. Then you have the luminous quality of the creature's white in the middle, but it was definitely about pushing that, and how many tones of greens or reds can you work with, and the red that we chose for her dress in Victor's apartment, with the spine coming through, and that was a very particular red. Your instincts go brighter, but it's such a, as Guillermo calls it, such a live and dangerous colour. And then he has a very specific pigeon blood red that, we've been tormented by pigeon blood red forever, but we played within that. So the mother's tones on the steps are slightly more heightened than that. And so I have to work with what production design and that are doing. So so this moment's important, we can be the focus, or let that colour become part of the overall world. I have to listen to what Dan Lauston's doing with the camera work. A lot of it's done with candle light.
Oh,
and
really?
And that was a huge challenge. When they began, we were going to light it with candlelight. I'm going, great. And then all the camera tests became about how many wicks makes the right amount of light for the candle, the burn, whether it's this colour or this colour. And that actually was a huge challenge for us, because you'd think you'd be able to put just your bright, intense colours and they would read that way on film. But the blue dress, for example, which then became a more afternoon light scene, but that still required a huge amount of R&D. And so Dan provided lights that echoed the camera, and we did testing in-house we started that dress 4 or 6 months out. In fact, it was almost a year before we got to the end of that, but we used that time to play with the layers and get the intensity of colour. So every garment and every costume had its own challenge, but you had to work to the moment to work out what was important. And for example, the greens that Mia wears in the lab underground when she meets the creature in his crypt for the first time take on an acidic quality and an almost neon light. It's very heightened. So trying to sort of adapt, and sometimes we do the green marbled jacket that she wears that echoes cells and all of that, and the creature's language,
because there was a lot of like circular patterns,
huge, and you see that in the environment, the architectural environment, the curves of the Medusa, the windows on the boat, the lab. My job is often to echo what the environment is, or deliberately work against it. So all of that language is part of it. Even the crinoline itself fitted magnificently into the themes of what Guillermo was doing. But it was sort of, trying to adapt. And some things we would do a version outside. Her clothes had a different tone outside to what they had inside.
So you made two versions of the dress.
Yeah, well, there's lots of versions, because then Guillermo would throw blood at it and mud and water. And it wasn't quite the same problem as Crimson Peak, but it was a different challenge. And, in a way that becomes part of the poetry and the language. When he uses those elements, you have to embrace them and, use that as part of your... it's the heightened quality of the sailors on the ship. The snow and the ice became almost like the death of the ancient mariner. We used it as a kind of heightened quality. So I like using... Nature's so pervasive within the whole thing, both in the script and the book. We use that. The same with the Tiffany jewels that we used on all the archives. All of that
Tiffany
language.
Jewels?
Yes. So we had access. I got granted access.
Oh my gosh!
To go to the archives.
No way!
Yeah, no, this is
like, wait, you said Tiffany Jewels? Hold on.
No, but this is like, I never quite understood it, and then people went, "You got to go," and it was like this secret vault in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my gosh!
And I don't think it's a privilege that happens very often. But Christopher, who's head of archives, really understood the language and nature of what Guillermo was trying to achieve. And when you look at the history of how Louis Comfort, who was the next generation behind Charles Tiffany, how he developed his world. He wanted jewelry to be an art, not just a decoration. He embraced nature, and it broke the confines of traditional jewelry making. It became alive. It was nature untamed. There's a beautiful green tourmaline ring Elizabeth wears, and instead of the setting being very sedate and traditional, it's this organic wild form. And he, with the women particularly, Julia Munson, they painted with light, with all the Favre glass, and we did the same in our world is the same. We have all the rooms filled with inspiration and objects of nature, not literal cells, but we create that world, and we paint with light in the textile way. So all my dyers, all my team are alchemists in their world, and they treated it the same way. So I love the synchronicity. It's a perfect pairing, Guillermo and that world.
Yeah.
So magic.
I love all the little touches that just add to the characters, like Victor Frankenstein's red gloves. Like
That's so
even
great.
when
That's
his
such a
hands,
classic Guillermo.
even when his hands weren't dirty, they were like they had
nicely
blood on
Freudian,
his
don't you
hands.
think?
Yeah, it was great. So costume design is like instant character development. We were wondering who you think you learn the most from just by looking at their clothes.
Every actor. I personally learn something from every actor, because you can have ideas that you develop with your director. You know, they're going to wear this costume or do this, and then they'll come with their ideas, and then the natural development of a character. You know, it happened in fittings in front of us. It would be, shall we do this? Oh no, we'll go this way or this way. And my job's to adapt and support what Guillermo's doing with his performers, and to do that. I think all of them have their own language. You know, the creature's language is very different, but echoes Victor's language, and Elizabeth has her own unique language. She's like this muse that stands alone within the whole world. And, you know, for Mia, that was quite a technical challenge just by nature of wearing the crinoline and having to deal with that. And, you know, it's a big thing when you're used to freedom as a performer, but in a way that's how she would have acted, you know, how she acts in the world, you know, it's what makes her. So, but you do have to adjust all the time, you know, you have to support on many levels and listen. You know, I can't always just impose. It's not my movie, it's Guillermo's movie. And
it's like teamwork.
Totally. Yeah. But, you know, there's great joy in that too. Like, I've never had so much fun. Usually the fittings are like, I get to sort of look at the actor, we measure them, and we do small talk and it's all that. But this was straight in with Guillermo, Oscar's kids, the Kerry, who was doing the behind the scenes camera stills, Tamara would come in, Dan Lauston would come in, and it was like this huge party going on, and we're throwing shit around the floor, and Oscar's dressing up and goes, I think this will work, and they're talking in Spanish, and I'm going, shit, I don't understand that, tell me, someone, and it's this, and it becomes its own thing, and it's uniquely that, and good things come out of it. Everyone's on the same page. Or Guillermo would be writing the script and adjusting it as Mia would play and work with her Beatles and that. So I just think the more everyone's part of it, the more they understand what the vision is.
Exactly.
Yeah. More creative collaboration.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
This was such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice to meet you, ladies. Lovely.
You too.
All right. So I feel like in that moment, that was our first one of the day. And
we were a little frazzled.
We were a little frazzled because it did go so quickly, and she had a lot to say, and we had like 5 questions, and we got through like 2.
Yeah, there wasn't really like a conversation. It was just like we let her talk. We listened. Yeah, that's how that went. But it was really fun learning that she was from New Zealand, and since I was there last year, and there's so much like film production. Yeah, I think Christine and I really noticed how many jewel tones were used in the film. Obviously Mia's costumes were like the big grandness of the film.
Well, her character is also like really into bugs, and I think and like these really like colorful, vibrant bugs in nature, and I think she really was reflecting that in the way her clothes looked. Even that blue thing with the like kind of antenna feathers that go around her face was kind of reflecting like kind of a bug look. And a lot of times she had something around her face, like kind of like halo-y almost. And my favorite costume was that butterfly looking one that was like very green, which she was wearing outside.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
the butterfly catching scene. I mean, even like the nightgown she wore as she like walked down to meet the creature for the first time. But I think Kate was talking about how everything was cylindrical with and like organic with Mia's costumes. But then it was interesting when we got to talk to Mike how they talked about how they wanted it to be geometric. For the creature, like how the creature had very like geometric designs. Like all the stuff on him was very much like straight up and down rectangles, like slabs. Yeah,
they were very meticulous.
And then Kate was talking about how everything was kind of like found in nature for Mia herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and even like the wedding gown scene, like the pleating and the smocking done that makes it look like there's like a skeletal system on her. Did you notice that?
I think I did, but it's been a while since I saw it. And it's what's so interesting about that is how he's so attracted to her. And he's also like so obsessed with like the human body. Mm-hmm. And so like I feel like that makes him extra attracted to her.
Yep.
You know? Mm-hmm. Like that's what he finds beautiful, like the human body and the systems that make up the human body.
Yeah, and just I think Kate's whole team was amazing at these costumes. I don't know. It's so interesting, like getting to talk to a costume designer.
Yeah. The intricacies involved in reflecting the story in the costumes. Mm-hmm. It just never ends. There's so many.
And how collaborative it is. Because I'm so used to just kind of doing my own thing by myself. I think it takes a special kind of person to create something that is special, but also fits within everyone's vision.
Yeah. I mean, and it was really interesting. Like the thing that I noticed the most was like how they were using color in the film to like tell the story in terms of like Dr. Frankenstein. And when I mentioned it, she's like, oh yeah, that was all Guillermo. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
And I think I mentioned the veils and how there were so many veils in it. And I don't know if she talked about that more, but like I feel like the veils were all over women and how I think how the women were portrayed. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will. All right. Let's go into our last section here before we talk about the movie in spoilery detail. We got to talk to Alexander Desplat, and it was that was the most fangirly moment of the day for me, at least. Was it for you?
Yes, it was.
I was like, oh my God.
I was like definitely nervous for this one.
Yeah, and he's like so proper. I feel like he just gives sophistication.
Yes, he was wearing like a scarf and his legs were crossed.
He has like a French accent. And we were so excited to mention New Moon in this interview. We're like, how can we say it in a way that's not going to like take away from Frankenstein? And like we mentioned it and he got so excited. He was like, oh, New Moon fans, huh? And it just made us both so happy that he got happy that we knew we loved his New Moon
previous work,
his New Moon score. Yeah. So let's roll that clip. Hello.
Hello.
The score was amazing. We saw Frankenstein last night, and we're wondering what your process is in general when you come into the film like that. Do you start like by watching the footage without music, or do you like have something in your head already?
Well, it does start with the script. So 2 years before shooting, or 1 year and a half. And Guillermo asked me to write a few pieces then that he used on the set. So it was a long process. It's a movie that took me, took part of my brain for many, many months. And of course, then comes the film, the first, edit, first that I can watch, and then we can really discuss with Guillermo of what the music can bring that the movie doesn't have yet, which is it make it bigger here, or more emotional, or more delicate, but it's really when the movie is there ready that I can surf on it.
Go all in.
Yeah.
My favorite, I think, musical sequence from the film was Victor putting Frankenstein together, and it was joyous in a sense, and I was very in tune with what was happening. How do you go about balancing like heart, joy, horror when you go to score a film?
Well, I think horror, gothic, that were terms that we got rid of very early on in the process with Guillermo. And yes, this scene could have been scored with, a very dark, horrible kind of horror score. But I think we both like with Guillermo to take care of the characters and to focus on the characters and their emotions and what emotions the audience should feel, and how much empathy the audience could feel for these characters. And at that moment in the film, by being in Victor Frankenstein's head, you suddenly give another perspective.
Yeah,
you're not watching the corpses, and which is just disgusting. You're with this passionate, creative moment that he has, like a sculptor would do with marble, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
And he's just in a trance, and so the music plays this moment of joy and beauty, because he's trying to give life to beauty. The creature is beautiful.
Yeah. Was there a conversation that you had that you like specifically wanted to evoke those emotions, like just for that scene in particular with Guillermo, or was that you watching it and understanding like his wanting to create that sculpture?
No, it's a conversation that we have, that we understand. You know, sometimes you don't need words with you know, people like Guillermo who are very sensitive and who have knowledge of art, you know, literature, and so it's easy to sometimes, without even a blink, just to go to the right direction. But that was a specific conversation we had about that scene, that it had to be very detached from what you see, but more for what he feels. But it's not always the case with every director. But Guillermo is open to any suggestions and ideas and even rejections of ideas. You know, it's a real exchange with Guillermo. Yes, it's a real collaboration, and that's very special to have that. We are very lucky to have Guillermo as director for that.
Yeah. We have to mention, because we're huge fans of the New Moon score that you did, and it really lingers with us. Like, we think about it all the time.
Yes,
and
beautiful.
I'm sure this score is going to stay with us as well. And we wanted to know what you think the secret is to creating a score that really like sticks in people's heads years and years later.
I think it's a combination of many things. First, having the opportunity with the film to create something that, you know, stands alone in the film, that you can really think, I like this music because it has a place in the film that you can really refer to. Then, if you're lucky and that music is well built, it can be heard without the film. And that's how I became a film composer, because I was listening to soundtracks, going to movies, listening to the soundtrack, and then the soundtrack would remind me what the film was. And I could play the movie again in my little bedroom just by listening to the soundtrack. So there's a combination, I would say, for the example you took, I guess it's a melody that you can really remember, memorize, an orchestration which gives to that melody a shine, you know, something different. And that's it.
Yeah.
You mentioned how you kind of got rid of the words horror and gothic. So what word do you think would you associate with Frankenstein?
Well, at the beginning we mentioned Baroque music because, you know, it's this late 17th, 18th century, but there was something, I understood that there was something that could work, but it couldn't work literally. So I kept from what is in Baroque music, ornamentations, little, you know, trills or what we call ritardendos. So I kept little artifacts from Baroque music, but I mixed it into my own thing. But you know, aside from that, there's never references. We don't use references. It's just how, again, we can convey the extreme sensitivity of the creature, for example. The creature he's not a monster.
No,
he has this incredible force, but he's not. He's beautiful, and he just wants to be loved.
Just wants love.
Yes. And there's this beautiful scene with him and Elizabeth in the arches under the castle, with the little stream, with a little leaf when she touches his chest, and this very gentle, kind moment, not even sensual or sexual. There's nothing like that. It's just empathy of two human beings, and I chose to use the violin to be the sound of this force of nature, the smaller but the most expressive instrument, the most delicate, the lightest instrument, played by this wonderful Norwegian violinist, Elbjørg Hemsing, a wonderful young lady, which I found and I thought would be not only right musically, but also the fact that she's Norwegian, and the movie is
it's kind of tied back
in the North Arctic, areas. It would make all sense, and it did really. There was something really special when she
Would
played.
you tie instruments to different characters then, or
No, that would have been a bit too gimmicky, but there is solo violin on the creature very often, but sometimes there's also a cello duetting with the violin, the solo cello. So you have the two extremes of the ambitus, of the range of the instruments. The violin for the fragility of the creature.
Is there a piece from Frankenstein that is your favorite, that stands out to you?
There's one which I like. I think it's called Fire I can't remember the name on the album, but I think it's called Fire.
What scene does it play behind?
It's when...
Is it when the fire's happening?
No, it's just before.
Okay.
Before.
I have to pay more attention next time I watch.
You mentioned that you made few songs for Guillermo to play on set. Do you know how he uses
You
them?
mean it's not songs, it's music.
Music. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay, because it's not. There's no lyrics.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Do you know how he uses that? And then did that music piece
Actually,
make it to the end?
Actually, he asked me to write a few waltzes at the beginning, and that's why there's still a waltz in the body part scene, what I call bodybuilding. And there's 2 or 3, even more waltzes. I wrote a few of them to be used in the film. We didn't know yet where, but there was a dance scene or 2 or 3 where he had to use that. Yeah. I also wrote a lullaby, a piece for a harpsichord, which were just a lead to follow, but we didn't use them in the film. But yes, they danced too. That was written way before.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you, fans of New Moon. I can't believe that.
Yes. Oh my God.
I love playing it in concert. I didn't play it this year in July, but usually I play it as an encore because it works really well.
Everyone loves it so much. All right.
They were like rushing us at the very end there.
They really were.
How it works, guys.
There's a person behind them that starts going like this and moving their hand in circles, and we're like, he's talking.
So we get to this was all at the Netflix headquarters in LA and Hollywood, and we get there, we talk to our rep, and then like our rep moves us to different rooms, so we have the three interviews. There were other influencers there too as well, so she wasn't with us all day, but she walks us to the room, we wait outside, get to tell us what time, like, okay, it's time to come in, talk, and then we sit down in the chairs, and usually have like they've got the mics above us, like all the lighting and the cameras, even the backdrops are elaborate.
Elaborate. And like they need you. There's 2 of us, right? So they're usually set up, I feel like, for like one-on-one in these rooms. And so in this one in particular, I kept leaning forward to like talk to Alexander, and they kept being like, sit back.
And they would look at me. They were like, I'm like,
and I just wouldn't even realize I'm doing it as he's talking. And then I would see someone doing like big hand motions behind the camera. I'd be like, oh. I like slap my back.
But we go in there and there's like 10 people in the fucking room, okay?
Yeah.
And we sit down and usually we're like, hi, and then we just sit there.
Yeah.
As we wait.
And we're supposed to sit like they're like, you could start, and I'm like, oh, we say our names to camera, and I'm like, Christine, Riccio, and Natasha Polis, and then we're like, those freaking fangirls.
Having to say our podcast name out loud is interesting.
Oh, well, especially in this environment where like the movie takes itself very seriously. And we're like, those fucking fangirls. And they're like, oh. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, it was really cool to talk to him, and I'm glad that he appreciated our appreciation of his work. All right. Do you have anything else on Alexander before we move on to the movie itself?
No, I just loved how like he lit up in the new moon part, and then when I talked about the part where I like pointed out that I noticed how light the music was when Victor
when he was doing the dark stuff.
Yeah.
The score is excellent, and it was just really cool asking the actual composer what his favorite piece is that he made for this movie.
Yes.
Like, I'm excited to watch it again and to hear, like, concentrate more on the score, because this time there's just like, it's sensory overload the first time you watch a film. So like you'll catch on to certain moments of the score, but other moments you'll be paying more attention to what's going on screen to really take in the score. So that was really, really cool. Now we're going to go into our like full breakdown review of thoughts on Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. So this is the time to really pause if you haven't yet. Go watch the movie and then come back and discuss with us if you don't want to be spoiled. Like, if you've seen Frankenstein before, you obviously know the big beats, or if you've read the book, you know the big beats of the story. But we're going to be specifically talking about things that are in this specific adaptation. So you would really be more in the know of what we're speaking about if you watched it yourself.
Yes.
So go hit up Netflix. This is the moment, y'all. Come back and we'll discuss. All right. So,
first and foremost, I think
the like
production,
what did we love about the film?
Yeah. The production, the set, stunning, beautiful. Loved it.
No, it looked gorgeous, and like the music was definitely a highlight. The cinematography was definitely a highlight. And I think that we have mixed thoughts on the film from like our like romance book girly perspective.
Yep.
So we're gonna go into those, but like I think the film is so strong until like the end for me, and it didn't exactly stick the landing, but like everything else is so strong that it's still it's a masterpiece. Like,
it's so enjoyable,
the way that it's very enjoyable, and also like beautiful to look at. And there's so much to dig into, like thematically, and so much thought. There's so many thought-provoking things you see. It's really a film you leave and you think about for like weeks on end after. Like, it's been 3 weeks and I still like think about different moments in it. It's done really well. I really liked seeing Frankenstein earlier on. Like, this is the most backstory I've ever seen for Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein himself, because I have never read the book Frankenstein. And I've seen all these adaptations, but a lot of times you don't really get to see the creator before he is the creator of Frankenstein.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like this like mad scientist dude.
Yes. You see him create Frankenstein from like the middle of his life, whereas we follow him from the beginning here, and you got a lot more backstory on like why he is the way he is and how he gets to this point.
He we see him like as a child, and why he is the way he is.
His relationship with his family.
Yeah.
His mother, his father. His father is like a really famous surgeon. And he
brother.
really wants him. Yeah, he really wants him to follow in his footsteps. And then his brother comes along and his mother dies in childbirth, and how that changes his relationship with his father and his relationship with himself. Like, from that point on, like, I think he kind of hates himself.
Well, yeah, and then he gets sent away after his dad dies, so.
Yeah, and then he has this obsession with bringing life back because of his mother's death and the inability to save her in that moment.
It was also very like it was like sciencey, like science fiction-y in a sense of
like the steampunkish science.
Kind of like figure, and also how maybe reanimating a body would work, and like what you would need to do to be able to make it work.
I really liked the demonstration scene.
Yeah.
And like just seeing the prototype of what would eventually become Frankenstein's monster or creature. Because having that backstory is also really nice. Leading up into it, it just feels like it didn't come out of nowhere. Like there was versions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, before we got to full human.
Yeah. The story was told, and I don't know if this is the way that Mary Shelley told the story, but it's very typical in like those D&D fantasy where you have the story's already happened, right? But we're now at the end of it. So we're in an inn, we're in a cabin, we're in a tent,
we're in a ship.
We're talking about what happened, how we got here. So we're kind of being dictated Victor Frankenstein's life
Story, yeah.
Because what happens is they go...
He's running from Frankenstein in the beginning. He's running from the creature.
Yeah, he's running from the creature.
Yeah.
The creature wants to off him.
Kill him, yes. But really, he doesn't. He wants him to create a partner for him. He wants someone like him to be his companion for the rest of time, since he can't fucking die.
Yeah. And so we, at the beginning of the film, we're met with a very rage-filled creature. And we're like, what happened? And they're like, let me tell you.
And we're like at the North Pole, and Victor Frankenstein is very injured. And so these men, not salesmen, sailors, take him onto the boat, and their boat is stuck in the ice. And Victor Frankenstein starts telling his story to the captain of the ship. And then we go back and we see his childhood.
The whole time I'm like, how is he just sitting there listening to the story? I'm like, I guess I don't really have anything else to do but sit there in the ice, right?
Well, the men are trying to work to get the ship out of the ice, and the captain's just like on the ship, not doing the dirty work.
I'll hear the story.
He's like telling me the story. And then like the creature gets on the ship, and we hear his side of the story after we hear Dr. Frankenstein's side of the story. So like while the film was beautiful and so many things were done so well, my biggest issues come with like the script and the storytelling arcs in the actual like saga, because it's a really long film, and
so long.
I feel like more of it could be lent to like fleshing out different areas that could have really made the emotional arc hit better.
Yes.
For a lot of different moments. And then should we talk about the women in the film? Like
the one woman.
The one woman, Mia Goth. So like me and Natasha and like immediately look at each other, because there's this moment where she's like, I'm not like other girls. Like, great, the one woman's a pick me.
Yeah.
Because she's like, guess. He's like, what are you reading? And she's like, guess. And he's like, a romance. And she's like, no, it's actually a science book about bugs. I'm so interested in science and nature. So it's like, if she was reading a romance novel, she wouldn't have been cool enough for fucking Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah. No, she wouldn't have been the most like perfect specimen.
Yeah,
of
and
a
it was just like,
woman.
let's shit on romance novels in this one moment with
Even
a
though
woman.
The whole story is like romanticized. Like the everything is romanticized anyways.
Yeah. So that moment was like kind of painful. Like, I love that she's smart, but the thing is, you can be smart and read romance novels.
She was just like very one-dimensional.
Yeah, we didn't get enough from her. Like, she didn't really have, like, she had moments, and in those moments it was like establishing she is smart, but like there wasn't a fleshing out to her character in like who she is and what her personality is like, except for like she's smart and she is like a little fiery, like she has opinions, but she doesn't get much dialogue time.
No, we first like meet her as she like turns around and he's like fully enamored with her, and then she starts talking and like fights him on issues, and then
and then he likes her.
And that scene, it's like they're at the dinner table, and
she's engaged to his half brother.
Yeah, and Christoph Waltz is the uncle to her, to Mia Goth, and he's the one who's like funding Frankenstein
research.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna leave her to discuss. You and I, we can go." The brother and Christoph Waltz go, and they're like, "We can go have a drink." Yeah,
the thing is also like Victor Frankenstein never fucking shuts up. He loves to hear himself talk. He loves to like blabber on about his science and stuff, and he really likes this woman that he can't have. And it comes to this point where like it's just like if he can't have her, no one can. And like, so Mia Goth, I don't know what her name is in this. Like, what is her name as this woman? Is it Elizabeth?
I think so.
Okay. Well, so once he makes the creature's locked in the fucking basement. It like actually physically hurts watching these scenes with him locking him up and treating him like fucking shit. And she goes down there and she's like super empathetic and forms this like nonverbal bond with the creature by just showing him kindness and empathy and treating him like a person and wanting to get him out of there. And immediately, like, he hates that the creature and her bonded. Like, when he says her name, that's like right before he decides he's going to murder him. Like, I just hate Victor Frankenstein so much in this movie. This is what it comes down to. Like, cause I can get past all the stuff with like Mia Goth being a pick-me and then being murdered immediately when she gets a second with Frankenstein's monster. Like I literally, when she gets shot in this movie, yelled out, "You've got to be shitting me." We didn't get 2 beats of her with didn't get the creature.
None of that. And I'm like, oh, okay, so she's gonna become Frankenstein's bride, but we didn't even get that. So,
well, he takes her body and puts her in a snow-filled cave, so like she's technically on ice. And we'll see. I have hope for Frankenstein 2. The creature turns her into his bride companion, but Victor Frankenstein just gets more and more horrible. He murders everyone that in his life. He tries to kill Frankenstein, the creature, multiple times, and he kills the woman he supposedly loves that his brother's supposed to marry. And
he kills his brother.
He kills his brother. He doesn't give a shit about anyone. He's a narcissist. And then at the very end, like, he and Frankenstein's, the creature. I wish he had a name other than the creature. Like, he doesn't get a fucking name.
Bob.
Bob, our poor creature, is in a room with him. He's gone through so much. And he asked one thing of this man that, like, tried to kill him many times and tortured him and was cruel and terrible. Can you please make me a companion? Because I can't die. And he says no. And
you're an abomination.
Yeah, and he's horrible to him. Meanwhile, like, all he's done is tried to find somebody to love in these years where he's been away from Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. And then we see the creature's whole story. It's heartbreaking. And then we go back to them on the ship, and Victor Frankenstein's dying. And he's like, "Forgive me." And he's like, I forgive you, father. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you forgive him? I've seen no path to redemption. I've seen no clear apology and growth. Like, in what world could this happen so quickly without any discussion? It makes me think, like, was there a scene cut? Like, for this emotional arc? Because, like, I didn't believe it at all. I was like, you lost me.
It was the most unfulfilling moment in the whole movie.
It honestly ruined the end.
It ruined the whole thing, I think.
I was like, how can... And he's like, I forgive you. And I was like, what? He's shown no repentance for anything he's done. Mm-hmm. It's like when somebody's, like, being an asshole and you're like, you need to apologize. And they're like, I'm sorry. Like, he's just dying and he wants to be relieved of his guilt.
And basically the whole movie is him explaining why he did what he did and explaining away...
Like, making excuses for it.
Yes.
Yeah. And never actually taking accountability and being like, I was terrible. Like, I shouldn't have treated you that way. Like, I created life and I tried to control it, and you can't control life.
And I don't think I loved how the story was told, because it just felt so odd for him to be like, let me tell you my story. And then for the creature to come and be like, let me tell you my story. And then we heard the stories, and then, will you forgive me? Yes. And then that's it.
The story structure opening on this ship, and then just seeing it like a couple other tiny little instances in between these giant chunks of story didn't really sit well with like the grandioseness of this story. And like it kind of felt like we were just trying to shove in this story structure to make some sort of suspenseful moment. Mm-hmm. But like as you're watching the story, like it becomes less and less believable the way that Frankenstein's monster, the creature, was acting.
Yes, because
in those moments, because he's so gentle all the time.
My favorite part of the whole film was when he
was with that family.
Yeah, and he's trying to create a companion and wants to be a part of a family, and so he's observing this family while he's living in this barn and doing things for them and making their life better. And then they all leave to go on like a hunting trip or something, and then he talks to the grandfather who's blind, and
learns to read.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
It's
that
so
part,
sweet. That's the best part of the movie. It's such a heartwarming chapter. And the story,
and so sad at the
and so gut-wrenching at the end.
Yeah,
but that little moment is like the eye of the hurricane, where everything is like good for a moment, and then we go back to the ship, and it's like, of course, who was that monster in the beginning? Like. And how like I know he's mad, but like, why was he killing other people to get to him? You know, it doesn't feel believable to his character.
Yeah.
So, there were these just so many gut-wrenching moments where I felt so bad for the creature. Where he's like, that moment that he's with the deer.
Oh God!
Just showing like how horrific like and violent man is, and like that's what he just keeps learning, like violence. But he doesn't do it. He doesn't want to be violent, and it's just juxtaposition of like how people perceive him and who he actually is over and over again, and it hurts. Man. And then we finally get to that moment where he's reunited with Elizabeth and she's in her wedding dress, and we don't even get to enjoy it at all.
Yeah, it was a very tragic tale.
And the romance like was just a tease the whole time, because we didn't even get like a second of them alone before she died.
Yeah, I'm like, I want Jacob Elordi monster boyfriend.
I really want the sequel, Frankenstein Part 2, where he makes her into the Bride of Frankenstein and like brings her back to life.
We haven't seen that since like they haven't created any films like that since like the 50s, where you saw the Bride of Frankenstein. So would love to see that in modern day times now.
Yeah, I guess like I can't remember what happens in Lisa Frankenstein. Do they like publicly become boyfriend girlfriend? Ever?
Well, she kills a lot of people, so I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Why can't I remember? I just remember her bringing back to life in the tanning booth. Oh my God.
All right, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, we talked about all this. Final thoughts is that like it's definitely worth watching. It's beautiful and it's like really thought-provoking, and the performances are fantastic. Like Oscar Isaacs is Dr. Frankenstein for me now, and I hate him.
I don't like him at all.
I hate him so much. He's so annoying, and he's so like a rich boy, God complex archetype that just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. I definitely think like it was fully worth the watch. And I love seeing Jacob in this role. I wish the female character wasn't so one-dimensional and there to be a product for these men to make their realizations.
Yeah, she had like 3 boyfriends. It was literally like 3-on-1 with this woman.
And yeah, I want a second one. Because I want it. I want to see the romance.
Yeah, I wanted more romance in this movie, because that's
what we like.
What we like. Yeah, that's our thing, folks. Yep. All right. Well, go watch Frankenstein if you haven't yet. Hopefully you've watched it if you stayed up all this time. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, your thoughts on anything we discussed. Were there any shots that really stood out to you? Because like that shot on the ice at like daybreak is so fucking gorgeous with like the fire when he's in that little tent.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was just like thinking about like the filming of that and like the timing and how like short the window would be to get such a fucking gorgeous shot. Like the cinematography really is amazing in this film. And definitely there's so many shots like that.
I really liked how they made like Frankenstein's castle.
Yeah,
what it looked like, and not as spooky as we think it should look, but like very grounded.
I loved how they like actually made the lab, how it was over this like giant hole in the floor, and there was like a chute for all of like the dead bodies that went down into the basement, down out to the lake. And like that's where he kept the creature eventually, like where all the fucking dead bodies were going. Yeah, it was just the setup was really interesting. It was cool. But yeah, those are all our thoughts. Nicole says I haven't watched it yet. I did read the book though and enjoyed this discussion. I'll definitely watch the movie now. Yay! We're happy to hear that and would love to hear your thoughts on the film once you've gone and watched it. Thank you everybody for watching. We kind of already did our Mary Kiss Cliff, I kind of think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I would kill Tyler Lockwood.
We do.
Cliff. For sure, Cliff. And we are going to go record Fangirl Tea Time, where we have lots of stories from Halloween and other stuff that's been going on in our lives lately. So that's going to be fun for the patrons. Again, the Patreon link is in the show notes. If you want to join the community there, we love that. Don't forget that I'm going on book tour, and tickets for all the different stops: South Jersey, Memphis, Tennessee, Austin, Texas, and La La Land are all in the show notes. And keep an eye on the horizon on Instagram because there might be a 5th event. So we will keep you updated there. And yeah, please come out. So excited to hopefully meet all of you and like celebrate new book. Our show is edited by Emma Burton for Guard, Natasha Polis, Christine Riccio, and Alex Polis. Our music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Traska. We release new episodes every single Friday. Follow us on Instagram at Those Forking Fangirls. We have visual episodes on YouTube at Those Forking Fangirls. And we will see you next week. I'm Christine.
I'm Natasha.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.